Dear viewers, this video discusses the issues arising from the May 9th Red Square Parade, as well as Donald Trump's parade. On May 9th, Russia holds a parade ceremony to celebrate what is actually the victory of the Great Patriotic War. May 9th marks the day of Germany's surrender, the 80th anniversary. According to Russian tradition, a parade is held every year on May 9th. This is not the victory of World War II, but the victory in Europe, because Japan only surrendered in August, which was 3 months later. May 7th is when the final rehearsal for the Victory Day parade takes place, and the official parade is on May 9th. These countries really enjoy parades, and I'll explain it to everyone. On May 3rd, the second parade rehearsal took place, showcasing many weapons, including the legendary T-34 tank, which was used during World War II. It was easy to repair, easy to produce, and very durable, this T-34, and it was the first to invent and use slender armor. That is, sloped armor. The S-400 air defense system. They should have some S-500s now, but it seems they weren't displayed. This parade featured 10,000 soldiers showcasing the Iskander tactical missile, the RS intercontinental missile, and these weapons, along with the geranium. This drone, they say this drone has an 8-foot wingspan and can fly at very low altitudes of 60 meters, 200 feet, or at high altitudes of 4,000 meters. I tell you, the most important thing about a parade is marching in unison and with style. These countries spend a lot of time practicing and have even invented different marching methods. For example, during the time of the German Second Empire, their marching was called the goose step, where the knees were lifted very high, or the Russian soldiers who kicked their legs very high. It takes a long time to practice to achieve such uniformity. This is what they aim for, everything in perfect order. Mainland China also spends a lot of time on parades, training these marching techniques. To coordinate with the parade, from May 8th to 11th, he announced a 72-hour ceasefire as a gesture of goodwill towards Ukraine. Last time, he mentioned a ceasefire for Easter, but it was not implemented at all. Russia invited leaders from over 20 countries to attend the parade ceremony, including former Soviet states and Russia's allies, mainly the 5 Central Asian countries, Kazakhstan, Belarus, because those European countries boycotted him. Russia places great emphasis on patriotic education during Victory Day activities, delivering speeches in Red Square, and prominently highlighting Russia's sacrifices and contributions in the Second World War. Russia lost 20 to 30 million people in the Second World War, which is quite significant. Ukrainian President Zelensky issued a security warning regarding the upcoming Victory Day parade. He said Ukraine cannot guarantee the safety of foreign officials within Russian territory. He cannot guarantee it. This is a more polite form of intimidation, saying I cannot guarantee your safety. Regarding all foreign national leaders in Russia before May 9th, our position is very simple. We cannot be held responsible for what happens on the territory of the Russian Federation. We will not be responsible. He said it very politely. He mentioned that Russia might cause some damage and blame it on us. If anything happens, don't blame me. Russia might carry out provocative actions, including arson and explosions, and then blame Ukraine, attempting to damage Ukraine's international image. In fact, Ukraine would never kill a foreign head of state, but if a Ukrainian drone goes near your Red Square, setting off alarms and causing people to evacuate, it's already quite embarrassing for you. Regarding Putin's proposal for a 72-hour ceasefire from May 8th to 11th, he firmly rejected it, saying if there's a ceasefire, it should last for 30 days. He said that Putin proposed a short ceasefire to prevent the Ukrainian military from launching an attack on Moscow on the day of the parade. It's impossible to come up with a plan to end the war in just a few days, so a 3-day ceasefire is pointless. Ukraine will not play along with your charade, nor will it allow Putin to escape international isolation on May 9th by creating a warm atmosphere, even though many people support him. However, they are ready for a full ceasefire if it can be achieved. Some countries have contacted Kyiv, indicating that they will go to Russia and ask Ukraine to ensure safety. But Ukraine will not provide such guarantees, said the Secretary of the Ukrainian National Security Council, adding that Ukraine has the capability to carry out military strikes on the May 9th parade. Recently, Ukraine sent 300 drones in a single day to attack Russia, with dozens reaching Moscow. Drones are very difficult to defend against. Unlike missiles, drones are harder to defend against because they can fly at low altitudes, making them invisible to radar, and they are small. Medvedev, who has served as both president and prime minister, is quite boring. He often makes unconventional statements to attract attention. He said that Zelensky is verbally provocative, and the EU's top diplomat, Borrell, warned European leaders not to attend the celebrations and instead show solidarity with Ukraine. This has deepened the international divide over the parade activities. To ensure the safety of the Red Square parade, Russia has now deployed 280 air defense systems throughout Moscow. They are densely surrounding the city center of Russia, especially the Red Square where the parade takes place, as well as the hotels where state guests are staying. This shows the Kremlin's heightened alertness to security threats, as Ukraine has been sending drones, causing alarms to go off in Moscow each time. Do you think they will send them to harass you on May 9th? They definitely will, a military expert told Radio NV. This air defense system includes many layers, with the S-400 being long-range and the Panzer being short-range, along with some even shorter-range systems. They are arranged in circles, one after another, with Russia deploying air defense units from Kazan and Grozny to support Moscow. Establishing a multi-layered air defense network to ensure the safety of the parade, a Ukrainian military journalist said the entire air defense system in Moscow is divided into multiple layers. This includes detection, interception of strategic threats, long-range, short-range, close air, and close combat defense, essentially 4 to 5 layers. The Russian side uses the Dawn 2N radar station for detection and has deployed the NEBOM Gamma S1 mobile radar for surveillance. Why are drones difficult to deal with? Because they are small and fly close to the ground, bypassing ground-based flight. The S-400 system covers a range of 400 kilometers, while the Panzer, S-1 and Tor M2 are not only stationed in the Moscow region, but are also deployed on rooftops of buildings and mobile platforms within the city of Moscow. Take a look at this setup. This is the Panzer system, and Indian Prime Minister Modi will not be attending. As soon as he mentioned that security could not be guaranteed, many people decided not to attend. The EU leader who accepted the invitation is the Prime Minister of Slovakia. Currently, it is known that the Slovak Prime Minister, who initially accepted the invitation, will be attending as planned and expected. He is now using health reasons to decline, like Modi. The Serbian president initially declined for health reasons, but now plans to attend. I'm curious to see if he dares to go. Besides that, Germany will not be sending anyone. Hungary is also not attending, and South Korea has stated that North Korea's supreme leader will not be going either, instead sending Chae Ryong-hae. There are so many invited to attend, but these two have already said they won't go. Kazakhstan also said they won't go, and Belarus isn't going either. How many are actually daring to go now? Let's slow down and take a look. I think Vietnam will also just send representatives. As for the other major European countries, they won't even be invited. And Xi Jinping only has one big name attending. Attending the 80th anniversary, Xi Jinping has made several visits. He mentioned this as his 11th visit to Russia, visiting Moscow again 2 years after his 2023 visit. In total, during his 13 years in office, he has gone 11 times, which is really quite frequent, and they, including Putin, have visited China to see him. The two countries have met outside of other international conferences more than 40 times in total, with bilateral trade reaching $244.8 billion. For 15 consecutive years, they have been Russia's largest trading partner. If we talk about Russia as a single country, it used to do the most business with the European Union. But you can count the EU as many countries, so over 240 billion is a significant amount for Russia. The People's Liberation Army sent an honor guard to attend, and it was said to have been warmly welcomed by overseas Chinese students, and local residents, looking very impressive. The People's Liberation Army, with such a large-scale redeployment of the air defense system, implies that there are defensive gaps in other areas because you don't have enough air defense systems. During those days, it would be advantageous for Ukraine to strike other places because you've moved the air defense equipment here. Russia is facing a shortage of air defense systems, especially long-range systems. Experts estimate that more than 1,200 units are needed, particularly the S-300 and S-400 systems. More than 1,200 units are required to provide limited coverage of the territory, but in reality, there are only 200 units, which is very few. Moreover, Russia has to invest a significant amount of resources to protect the Kerch Bridge, which has already been attacked twice. Both times, the attacks were actually carried out using trucks loaded with explosives, but at least 2 Russian air defense brigades are providing protection. Crimea is another place with very tight air defense, but it is frequently attacked, even though the Russian air defense system is extensive. However, with 280 systems, it is impossible to provide complete defense. Previously, drones have successfully attacked an ammunition depot 70 kilometers from Moscow. This is the Russian parade. Let's see if there will be alarms that scare the foreign guests on the day. Those foreign guests are so afraid for their lives that they don't even dare to go. The U.S. Army confirmed on May 2nd that a large parade will be held in Washington on June 14th, which is just over a month away. Donald Trump's 79th birthday. He said it's a day to celebrate the founding of the Army. It's estimated that there will be 6,600 soldiers, 150 military vehicles, 50 helicopters, 7 bands, and thousands of civilians attending. Then there will be a fireworks display. Donald Trump really likes parades, especially since the day is his 79th birthday. He really likes parades, but actually, only dictatorial countries hold parades. We were online, and a netizen was talking to me. He had served in the U.S. military, and he said they don't understand marching at all. They can run, but they haven't learned those very orderly marching drills. Unless you are one of those ceremonial soldiers, like the ones I've seen at Arlington Cemetery, they march very neatly. There are very few of them, and many people apply for those positions, but he thinks very few people do it. Donald Trump likes it, and a parade with 6,600 people costs a lot of money. Are you going to bring out the weapons or not, I ask you? The last large-scale parade in the United States was on Independence Day in 2019, when the then-president paid tribute to America. During the Independence Day event, he gave a speech stating that our country is stronger than ever and held a parade.